2020 was the year that none of us expected, and true to 2020, celebrating a birthday could not have been the exception. I don't know for you, but for me, my birthday was a little different. I started off the day by, first of all, my alarm didn't go off on time. I just magically woke up about 15 minutes late, which is detrimental because even 2 minutes added to my morning routine, which includes just like quickly rushing, getting ready, and just jetting out the door, can just completely throw everything off. Now I was 15 minutes late, and so I had to kind of make up for that time. I'm able to get out the door. I managed to kind of shorten my time to get ready. So that just means that my birthday was not a day to be looking cute, be looking nice, be looking pretty. Oh, heck no. It was just a day of like, this is what it is. And so I get out the door, and right as I'm getting out the door, I get ready. I make sure that I have everything. When I get inside of the car, normally I have the routine of having like a shake, a protein shake, just so that I can kind of kick off my day with a little bit of energy and a little bit of pow, just because I wake up at 4:30 in the morning, except that day I woke up at 4:45, so the 15 minutes. Anyways, I'm in the car, and I thought I had closed the lid on the shaker bottle, on the blender bottle, but it turns out that I had not. So as I start to shake full force on the blender bottle, just everything spills, and now I have a mess. I have protein all over, all over kind of like the side of my passenger side of the car. And to top it off, it gets on me. Luckily I had a coat, so it just got on my coat, but then it got on my jeans. So basically all that to say that the whole rest of the day on my birthday, I was walking around with dirty clothes, and I probably like kind of, protein after a while, it's kind of like baby formula. It does not smell very good. So anyways, so I spend the day with just kind of like this. So now the good thing is that I work in a child center. So because I work in a child care center, basically it's not unusual to have kind of like, kids lather a little bit of food on you and just have spills and all those sort of things. So from that perspective, not a big deal. Then when I get to work, and as I am getting ready for the day, I make sure that I check the emails just to make sure there's nothing that I have to that needs my immediate attention for the day. And sure enough, I get an email from one of the employees that says that she was not going to be able to come in because she was not feeling well. At this point, I'm like, great. Not only are my clothes dirty, but on top of that, now I have to substitute the teacher in the toddler room, which is special because, running around behind one toddler is plenty. Now, in this case, we had 4 toddlers to kind of care of. And at that point now, I'm kind of a little bit stuck with them. So once I kind of figured that out, I'm like, okay, great. And now I have to come up with a plan. So I thought I could do one or two things. I can just be frustrated the whole rest of the day, or I can kind of, make the best of it. I chose to make the best of it. So instead of having a super structured day, I just did a sort of improvised kind of like a fun day with the children. So we did a little bit of a dance party, play some games, and that kind of good stuff. So just kind of something fun, because I was like, well, if I'm going to be with children, I might as well enjoy it. And so it was very self-served at that point. But right as we were doing that, luckily my mom shows up, and she gives me this beautiful bouquet of flowers and a nice little balloon to let everybody know it's my birthday. Happy birthday to me. And so that just kind of shifted the day a little bit. Now from then on, typically I don't like to make a big fuss about my birthday myself, because I think it's kind of like self-serving, and we just were not raised that way. Usually birthdays in our families are celebrated by other people celebrate us. So though it's just how we are. And so I typically don't go walk around saying it's my birthday, but because I was with the group of children, I was like, you know what, let's just let them know this is just the day that I'm having. And so when the older children, the school agers get there, I say, hey guys, I'm going to tell you a secret. And everybody hushes, and everybody's like, wow, what is it? And I was like, it's my birthday. Now, the funny thing is that it's like they assume like I'm not a real person, because they're like, oh, they acted like they didn't know I would have a birthday. Like it was like a foreign concept to them. But once they got past the shock, then they're like, "Oh my gosh, we didn't get you anything," and I'm like, "It's okay. That's not the. It's no big deal." I just wanted to let you know I also have birthdays. You have birthdays. I have birthday too. However, there were three children that they took it upon themselves and kind of do something and put something together, and so the first one was a little girl. She kind of goes into her backpack, and then she's kind of like, she's telling me, "Don't look, don't look, don't look, I have something for you." And then she kind of comes out with this paper envelope, and she says, "Now look, I didn't have a chance, I couldn't write your name on it, okay, but this is for you, this is yours." And so she takes out an envelope like this, and in it, this is exactly what she gave me. She has a little toy bat. I'm not sure what she was gonna do with it, but she put it in there. And then she had 2 little pieces of candy that she gave me. And I thought, you know what? That's really sweet. Because honestly, the point is not, is the price point is not the point, right? It's not the value of the present. I think is the intention, is the fact that she wanted to step outside of herself to give something to me. And I thought that was really nice. That's what it's like working with children. Now the second little girl, she takes it upon herself when they were doing their art activity, and she just grabs a piece of paper, literally a piece of white paper, and she kind of turns it into a card, and she writes kind of like, "Happy birthday, Jadi." Jadi is my nickname, and so this is how she spells it. So she does that. Now her little brother, because she gave me something, then he didn't want to be left out, and so they were kind of just coloring a couple of things relevant to the season, and so he was kind of coloring the menorah, and so he's like, "Here you go." Right as he was leaving, he's like, "Oh, I want to give you something," and I'm like, "Yes, of course," and I take it. I was kind of, you know, it was kind of nice, it was sweet. Some of you might be like, "Okay, that's like pointless, it's like, what's the point of that?" However, we can never underestimate when someone decides to kind of step outside of themselves to give something to someone else, and that is exactly what my birthday this 2020 made me think about. It's the notion, not so much of the gifts we give, the physical gifts that we give, but what is it that we give in terms of our presence. What are the things that we are, how are we serving the people around us? Typically when we say celebrating my birthday, when we use that phrase, we put a lot of emphasis on the my birthday, and that just makes it that just makes for our day to be a celebration of just us, me, and like a very almost, there's a selfish element to it. However, the fact that I was kind of stuck serving other people throughout my day, that just lets me know that that's what makes my day count. That's what makes my days count. That's what makes this year count. That's what makes each and every one of our years count. So whenever our birthday rolls around, then it's really an opportunity for us to think about, it's not what I'm gonna get, but it is, how is it that I'm living my life to give? How do I do that from year to year? 2020, we can say a lot of things about 2020, but if we really look closely, it has given us the opportunity to give of ourselves in different ways. For the people that have lost things, then it's a time that we can reach out, encourage somebody, serve somebody. For the people that are in need, it's a time for us to serve them too. So however you decide to spend the rest of 2020, make it count. Don't discard it. It is not the throwaway year. It is not the throwaway kind of season. It is really a time for us to be really intentional about it and make our days count and put ourselves in the service of others. So with that said, 2020 is not quite over. We still have a couple of weeks to go. So I encourage you, take this opportunity to think of what is it that you're giving of yourself, and how is it that your days are being counted. So with that, I wish you a great end to 2020, and give yourself the time to reflect on how have your days counted. And if you feel they haven't counted very much in the last couple of months, then it's never too late, and you can always turn that around. One day makes a huge difference, so live it intentionally. Live it with your full intention to make it count. So with that, happy birthday to me and I wish you a great rest of your year. Until next time, bye bye.